Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here with another book review of one of the best books on dowsing I have ever read. And it's Learn to Douse, Use the World's Most Powerful Search Engine, Your Intuition, by a little unknown guy called Uri Geller. And I must say I'm very impressed by all of his books. I'm very impressed by Geller himself, who has been established as a very powerful psychic, has been established by very advanced scientists. It's all recorded on film. And no matter what the sick, perverted, dumb bunkers, idiot skeptics who have their own little perverse realities and their dungeons and all the things we can get for a pendulette, who believes in nothing except the dollar bill. But before we go into that, people, let's hear a little bit from Zoltar. Whoops.
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Men of genius are admired. Men of wealth are envied. Men of power are feared. But only men of character are trusted.
Ooh. Mark that down in your book of idiot sayings. Oh, we love the old Zotar. Okay, so let's talk about the this fantastic book. Now, there's an awful lot of information on dowsing out there. And this book, of course, let me see when this was actually written. When was it published? It was republished in 2020, so I guess it's been a popular book, and it should be. Now, there's a lot of books on dowsing and pendulum use, but I've never seen something as clear and precise and as thorough as this book. It covers absolutely everything. And I'm sure you can find this inexpensively on eBay and the other places. I'm sure you can get it used. It's a nice little hardcover, pretty black cover. But we go into all of the great information here, and he covers absolutely everything with a whole bunch of dowsing stories. He goes into the introduction of what dowsing is, the types of dowsing equipment. I mean, this is a fantastic book that even if you are a dowser, it's nice to read this and confirm really what the science of this is. And, you know, he even says that there are cave paintings going back 6,500 years that looks like somebody is dowsing. Most likely they were. But here we go. You've got a pendulum, you've got L rods, and you've got your Y rods, generally used as a tree. Branch, oftentimes, metal rods. How to douse with a crystal pendulum. And he does excellent, quick, and to-the-point information. There's no use actually spending lots of time going over things that are pretty easy. So then he goes right into dowsing with rods. Now, rods are very important because if you want to find a power spot, if you want to find a negative or positive energy vortex area, well, this is how you do it. You can't go walking around with a pendulum like this, trying to find different spots where there's land or looking for water. Or, as I said, I used to do this in vortexes. And you can't really walk around like that. So you need L rods where you can walk slowly and then be able to find power spots. He goes into how to douse with a fork stick. That's your Y rods, tree branches. So it is very, very exciting how he goes. Mind power techniques. Color dowsing. I'm not going to go through every page here, but naked dowsing. Science and history of dowsing. So he goes into it, he talks about that, and there's an awful lot of proof to this, of how this works. The dumb bunkers, the retards of this world that have brought us what? What, all that free energy? Where's that, Dr. Thor? What about those medical cures? I don't know any. So let's keep giving them money. How to douse through your mind for lost objects. How to douse your house for lost objects. How to learn to douse with a map. So it's all here. You want to look for minerals. You want to look for oil, buried treasure. Well, he tells you how to do it. Love and lighthearted games using dowsing. It goes into, I mean, it's everything he's got in here. How to tell the gender of an unborn baby. Yeah, this is an old thing that used to be done quite a bit. You don't hear much about it, but that would be something fun to actually try. See if you're right. And I bet you are. Now, one of the things is if you are not a good dowser, if you can't dowse, you really can't use any of the force energy physics tools. Scalar machines, radionic machines, psionic machine, orgy machines. How are you going to poison yourself using orgone if you can't dowse where the most toxic one is? So as we move on there, we get into so many things, diving the Bermuda Triangle. So he gives a lot of stories of how he's detected things using dowsing. Dowsing for health and well-being, body dowsing, really fascinating stuff. And again, it's not pages and pages. It's a page or so. Dowsing for allergies. Again, it's a page. I love things that are to the point. You know, I've read so much in my life that I have real trouble reading very complicated long books, and I really refuse even to write that kind of stuff anymore. And that's why I keep mostly to audio training, but I will be putting out booklets in the future, which will be 10, 15, 20 pages. Dowsing for earth energy. Now, here's an important thing. Now, those earth energies can be right in your house. They can be in a park. They can be in a sacred spot near you. So it's not like you have to go out to sacred spots. There may be sacred spots everywhere. And when you're setting up certain scalar energy radionic type tools, well, it's good to dowse where you're putting them down in your house. You'd be surprised. You may be using them in a bad area. And this will affect your results. So it goes in a bunch of chew. Here's feng shui. How to dowse your home for what I was just talking about. Where are the good and bad spots? All in a page or two. How much better can that get? You know, we live in a time that we really have to be concise and to the point. A lot of verbal and babbling on and on. Giving further details to try and prove your point is a fool's errand and shows a bad teacher. You should be able to explain things in a fairly short, simplistic manner. Now, some things it's nice to add a lot of details. And if you're talking about something and there's a lot to cover, but, you know, if you're training someone in something, you should actually be able to explain it simply. You know, most things aren't learned. You have to experience it. Teaching is for stupids. Teaching is for your garbage stuff you get in the school. Experiencing something is how you learn and develop a skill. So here's an interesting little chart. Dowsing without instruments. Everything is at your fingertips. Another fascinating way of using a little muscle testing with your fingers. And of course, here it goes about his background. And talks about what he's done, how he's achieved things. And of course, there's even testimonials here from people like Dr. Edward Mitchell. I believe he was a astronaut, Puthoff, and Russell Targ from research. These are all people he's worked with. Werner von Braun. Is that a recommendation? Not my book. But the whole idea is that, and he has plenty of other books, and I recommend them all. They're all great books, give you great tips, and they're to the point without getting verbose to the point that who cares? Does anybody really care about the overly metaphysical science of something? You just want to use it and work with it. And you want to be able to do that as fast and as easy as possible. But the bottom line is you need this book. Those of you in Patreon that are supporters of this organization will be able to access this in the library there. And, of course, all access as well, which accesses hundreds of books in the library only for all access people. You should hit the like button If you're not subscribed, make sure you do. We've got to get the information out there for everyone, but this is a fantastic book. I'm trying to figure out, here we go. In the United States, this is $17. Well worth it. It's a nice little hardcover. You could keep this on your shelf, let everybody read it, refer back to it if you're using different types of tools. Just a fantastic book. Probably the best there is on this for you. A short, concise way to use all the major dowsing tools out there. Highly recommended. Check it out, everyone. Watch for my upcoming more reviews.